In this video, we'll discuss how personality accessibility relates to the depth of the eyes within the eye socket. Enjoy. Hey everybody, in today's face reading tutorial video, we're going to talk about personality accessibility in relation to the eye sockets. So in the comment section, in people who are studying with me, the question or variations of this question come up quite a bit, which is how do you assess the accessibility of a person, the personality? How do you get a read on that? Truth be told, there are lots of different ways to assess this because we have to look at many different areas, many different elements. But one of the telltale areas, one of the areas that I would say is the easiest to read to get sort of a baseline of this, is to look at where the eyes sit within the ocular cavity. So we're going to talk about two primary definitions here, what they call frontal set eyes and deep set eyes. So from the top of the ocular cavity down to the bottom of the ocular cavity, right at the top of the cheekbone here, the closer the eyes are to that line. So if you see my eye, like if I bring my hand down, my eyeball, I touch my eye. Some people, when you go from here to here, the eyeball is not touched. Their eyeballs sit deeper. So again, those are deep set eyes. My eyes run a bit more frontal. The piece you want to think about face reading, the thing I'm always trying to stress to people, is that at its core, face reading and feng shui, the study of landforms, were very closely related. When I was studying with my late teacher, Lillian Bridges, I came to her studying feng shui first and came to realize through her guidance that I should probably do face reading and eventually marry these two things and write a book, which I will eventually on this. The point is, the face is seen as a landform. This is a topography of your life and your life terrain. So if you can get behind that idea and understand that when we talk about mountains and rivers and landforms on the face, this will make a bit more sense. You want to think of the eye sockets as a cave. Again, a landform, right? It's a type of habitat of sorts that we can find in the natural world. But caves is where people live. It's where they got shelter. It's where they hide. It's where they go into solitude. You know, people like guys in their man caves. The cave is the eye socket, and we also have to think about the eyes in relation to face reading. What are the eyes? The eyes are the gateway or portal of entry to the soul, consciousness, and anima of a person. This is why we look at the eyes when we're talking to someone. This is why we read people's eyes. It's very important. So if you want to think of the eyeball and the eyes as sort of the external metric or the external visual marker for how the spirit expresses into the world, the deeper set the eyes, the more sheltered and hidden the spirit is a bit, and the more frontal they are, a bit more extroverted. You can think of deep set eyes as a person who sits deep in the cave, in the darker recesses in the back, and someone with frontal set eyes is someone who likes to sit at the front of the cave and look out a bit more. So when we think about this, the thing I want you to frame and to understand is that deep set eyes, collectively, as a general rule, is usually coming from a person who needs a bit more introspection, a bit more solitude. They need time away from friends, family, people. They need all of it. They need to go back and sort of hide in the cave a bit more. People that have frontal set eyes, like me, are a bit more extroverted. They process externally a bit. If any of you ever saw me out and about somewhere, please stop me, say hello. But if you did, I would talk shop with you. I would shoot the breeze with you. I might even buy you a beer if I was having one. So that's how those eyes run. This is one of the very real things to think about, is that deep set and frontal set eyes. And what I've found over the years is that a lot of really good fighters and martial artists and things sometimes have deeper set eyes. There's also a biological advantage to the eyeball not being hit, right, in combat if the eyes are deeper set. You'll see this with athletes and stuff. They'll have deep set eyes. So in any case, the other thing I want to address here is that just because a person has a deep set eyes doesn't mean they can't be extroverted in their own capacity or be really funny and social. Shout out to my buddy Corey Polster, who is an amazing stand-up comedian, not currently doing it right now, but definitely has the chops still. We'll probably go back into it at some point, but he has deep set eyes. And he also is notorious for hiding in his cave. He needs times and periods of solitude away from people and away from things, and then fully has the capacity to go out and just kill in a crowd. So this is kind of the thing to think about. It doesn't mean that you can't do that, but it also means that the metrics are going to show that you have to have that solitude, and the deeper set eyes also provide that sheltering. It's like hiding in the cave. You're going to be away from the elements and away from the things that the heat and the rain and those things. You want to think there's a sheltering like capacity when the eyes sit a bit deeper in the head. So there's a lot more to it than this. Again, take face reading as things that need to be averaged out. Take this metric, but you have to average it out by reading other features. And as you watch my videos, integrate this, but don't think of this as a sole, clean, definitive metric that if the eyes are deep set, they are explicitly this way. You can never do that with face reading, but these are just some ideas to consider. So if you got questions and comments, please put them down below. And as always, thank you for your time.